guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you with Block Sales, episode 3, season 2.
Gay pirates. We're telling gay pirates.
I mean, that's my number one theory regarding Flint past with Thomas.
Yes. Speaking of Flint, he got his ship back. Well, his ship. The big man-of-war ship that they stole. He's back as captain because he manipulated Dufresne into showing just how inexperienced he was, and it worked. So the crew voted him back as captain. John became Gossip Girl, and in doing so, became important again for the crew. So they want him around to hear more about the gossip.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
Yes, and back in Nassau, Nedlo proved to be a fucking psychopath, killed one of his men in front of people, and he was fine with it, and he just straight up said to Eleanor he's not going anywhere. And he's got the firepower to stay and make her life miserable. So she went to Charles and she told him about the supposed prize that Nedlo has so he can convince his men to attack him and get rid of him.
They don't know that the prize is a woman.
Yeah, they don't. We'll see how that goes. And Jack found out about Anne and Max being together, and he said that, you know, all he wanted was for Anne to be happy. I think he's sad that she did not say anything to him, and then he had to find out by himself. And I think he's also done, you know, seeing people go after what they want, and he's the one that suffers from it. So he decided he was going to go after his fucking dream, and he named himself future Captain Jack Rackham. We'll see how that goes.
Totally can see it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited about this. I just hope it goes well because I don't know if the dynamic with Max and Anne is gonna keep being fine. Like, considering he's still with Anne, and I don't know if he's gonna be okay with her, you know, going to see Max all the time. He says he's okay with it, but I don't know.
At least she needs to go back to bed when she's done. That's what he told her.
Well,
Come back to bed when you're done.
Matters of the heart are complicated, and we'll see where they lead them, but yeah. In the meantime, I'll be excited about his plan. So let's jump in this episode and see what happens to these guys next. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go.
You know what? I want to see him on a ship.
Is he supposed to be a captain of a pirate crew?
Ooh, he's a beast. Oh, one-on-one? Are you gonna try? No, just to talk.
No matter where I've been, one thing is true. There's always one. The one you don't cross. It would seem readily apparent that in this place, that would be you.
Oh.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I think it's no secret that since my arrival, I've been repeatedly provoked and harassed by the Guthrie woman.
I hear you and she have a connection.
It's complicated.
I'd just like to know whether I'll have you to deal with too.
Can't imagine what we'd have to gain by taking an interest in the affairs of the Guthrie woman. Would you, Captain?
Not that I can see.
No matter how bloody this feud gets between she and I,
You want
can rest
interfere?
early, knowing you'll take no part in it.
But, did he say?
Charles?
He could be lying. If he already said he was gonna go after the prize, I don't know.
Should you move against her, you may find no shortage of new enemies on the street.
Perhaps, although, from what I understand, confidence in her new venture is tepid at best. Who knows how much she'd be missed, if at all.
He's honestly not dumb, and he's noticed a lot. Everything that Charles has been telling Eleanor.
What's that?
Tribute. 10% of her most recent haul. Would have been a little heavier, only she taxed us over the state of the containers.
Dude, that's how a business is run.
She
There are
told you
rules.
that if you bring her back containers covered in blood, she can't sell those.
There are rules, there's a way to do things. If you go on your own and you're wild and you don't care, we cannot trust you. Depends on what Charles will do. Like, he could be saying, like, yeah, if you do anything about Eleanor, I'm not gonna do anything.
She did not come back after her.
See, this is gonna be a problem.
I just hope that she doesn't break your heart. But do you think that Max has some feelings towards Anne?
I don't
Or
think so.
she's using her desire to just manipulate her?
I believe that since it's been her job for so long and this is how she does things, emotions are getting blurry. And you cannot, I don't think she would get over Eleanor that quick. she might still be angry. So right now she's just giving what she expects to be given, you know?
James talks about you all the time.
Do you know what he told me about you?
Nothing.
What's that?
You betrayed us.
Nothing. When I ask him, all I get is a shrug or a laugh or an innocent suggestion that he has a long-time companion. Is it possible that you're so unremarkable as to resist any further description than that?
I think he's just trying to keep her secret.
To protect her?
You conspire with my father to sabotage our plans. You betray our trust. And when Flint, the most feared captain in all creation, comes to confront you about it, you destroy him.
She has a lot of power.
In his absence, you've begun to forge new alliances with his enemies. With Mr. Underhill, the man sheltering my shitful father as we speak.
She's not doing nothing. Interesting.
You don't know what you've seen. You didn't betray him? I don't believe I did, no. And if he's being honest, neither does he.
I beg to differ.
Every man has his torments, demons born of past wrongs that hound and harass him. You perceive the effects of Captain Flint's demons, but I know their names. I was there when they were born.
He has a lot of secrets.
So you can believe me when I tell you that within his chorus of torments, none of them look or sound like me.
But still, you cannot, like, blame her for questioning.
After the damage you've caused, I know what you owe me, and I've come here to collect. I need to speak with Underhill. Acquiring the partnership of a plantation the size of Mr. Underhill's could help bolster commerce on my side of the island. My attempts to reach him by letter have gone unanswered. I would like for you to help arrange a meeting.
I thought he was an enemy of yours.
Perhaps I'm willing to see things in a different light.
She has a bigger enemy right now.
I'll try.
So, like, has she been trying to still find, like, an escape? Like, what she told Flint she was gonna do?
I think she's still trying.
Despite the fight? Like, she's still trying to find a way out? I don't know how you'll feel about that.
Mr. Dufresne was right. The men will expect some time in town before we depart. I want them as contented as possible when I inform them otherwise. On my reckoning, we got a week, 2 at the most, before King Philip takes his gold back. There's no time for delay.
Yeah.
Get those supplies as quickly as you can and meet me back here.
And he's back in position, but his position is still...
It's still shaky.
People might regret it.
Isn't that Honegold's flag? Why isn't he in his fort?
Because they've been...
A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
Since you depart.
Last time he came back, he was saying, like, shit, a lot happened in that night. Well, yeah.
What the fuck happened here?
You should stop leaving.
I hear this is once again a place where men come with coins in their pockets and secrets in their heads and leave with less of both.
There is a secret you wish my help in obtaining?
New crew on the island, captained by a man named Lowe.
What's the cargo?
Peace from their last prize.
He wants to see if it's worth it.
I'd like you to find out what it is. We have an agreement.
And he just uses the bribe. There you go. I mean, to be fair, we kind of knew that's what he was doing, but with Eleanor.
The money is generous, but I'd rather have something else from you. Your former shipmates, they wish to sail again, but so long as they bear the black mark you put upon them, their prospects will remain dim.
Oh,
I'd like you to remove it.
thank you.
Trying to
Hey.
find some crew for Jack.
Help Anne through that too. She still feels down. She has her, but after that's done, she turns around and she's not content, so she's trying to help.
I'm so very glad you're alive. You were missed. What do we do now?
And all the shit, yeah.
I'd like to go back and retrieve the gold.
Is that possible?
Well, it might have been possible when I had some place to bring it all back home to, before the bay fell into the hands of a madman.
He came through the interior. There was no warning.
Yeah, and then he played with her mind.
He and his men were firmly positioned up there and threatening to sink every ship in the bay the moment we made any move against him.
So you did nothing?
What would you have had me do?
Something! You just sunk a few ships in the bay, and it would have been in price worth paying.
You weren't here, and he isn't the problem you think he is.
Well, he doesn't know that.
You look me in the eye and tell me that you're certain that if I brought the Urca gold back here past those guns, he wouldn't use his position to rob me of every last
He
ounce of...
could. He doesn't give a shit about Flint. Hates him
Yeah.
even.
Sacrifice it would have taken to get him out of that fort was simply too great.
She never is willing to fight.
Is it? I don't think that you have the balls to do something, Eleanor, unfortunately.
That's what Charles was saying. Like, she barks and
But she doesn't
does
fight?
stuff, but when she has to fight back, she doesn't do
Spanish
much.
warship fell upon us. Mr. Gates' faith in our mission, his faith in me, was lost. I had to use my judgment.
It's like I had to kill my best friend for all of this.
What did you do?
What do you think?
What was necessary?
And he's not okay with that, but
There is no sacrifice.
he's basically
too
saying,
great to
I
secure
sacrifice a
this.
lot and you're not doing shit.
I thought you and I were in agreement about that.
Yeah. So do something. Sacrifices.
He must be removed from that force.
He believes, I think, that she cares still about Charles, and that's why she's not doing shit.
There's a part of her that still cares about him.
Get some rest. We can discuss this further in the morning.
Or even if it wasn't about Charles, she's not willing to sacrifice anything to get to her goals, but she keeps saying that she wants that goal like crazy.
Lady Hamilton.
Lieutenant, it's rather cold out here.
Well, he's a bit half naked. You just surprised the hell out of him.
Are you familiar with Jonathan and Margaret Gray, Lieutenant? They hold one of the largest collections of Egyptian artifacts in all of Europe. I thought perhaps today you'd join me in viewing them as my guest.
Yours and your husband's.
Thomas is otherwise engaged.
This is not supposed to be okay.
Were your husband to hear?
I love my husband. I know what's said about me behind my back. Whispers of infidelities. My husband's heard.
They were already okay.
Thomas and I are not bothered by them. The only question that remains is,
Are you concerned about them?
are you?
That's the thing, they would be whispering about him too.
I think they already are.
You're right. I don't know where our loyalties lie.
Either we act now to remove him or no one will.
We don't have time for this.
Then I suggest we act quickly.
I mean, find the gold, put it somewhere, and deal with Charles afterwards.
But I don't know. There's no saying if you'll manage to get rid of Charles. Like there's too much happening at the same time. Shit.
Your judgment with her is clouded. She knows it and intends to use it to drive a wedge between us. It is painfully obvious to me.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Of course I can see it.
Then why don't you stop it?
Because she needs it.
I can't.
Thing is, Max has not tried truly to separate them, but she is putting herself in a position where she
She has
could.
some influence
me.
over Anne.
She's getting a lot of power.
Won't you?
She did say to lift the black, spot on them. Black mark.
I'm repairing your reputations. Public display of reconciliation.
He's a good dude.
Smile. Let it happen.
Pretend to be happy.
Look at the two of you. You're still as thick as the moment I first found you fucking behind the galley. You'll either be the death of each other, or we'll all end up working for you someday.
Maybe that
Doubt there's any third outcome.
Why now?
little bird. See, this is not exactly what you had in mind. It was really quick. Those men really talk.
I mean, when you know how to play with them.
Okay.
Alright, mate. Jack is now reading our book.
I think you're someone who's very good at managing how you're perceived. And perhaps getting what you want without anyone ever knowing how you did it. Perhaps you're more concerned with whether or not people talk about what you and I may be doing behind closed doors than with what we actually are doing.
Okay.
So something did happen.
Well, they are fucking now, so I assume that.
Oh, they fucked back then also.
So it's either not what we think, we're just like, on y va à pied! Pirates of the Caribbean French reference.
I'd like to make you an offer. My place is at sea. But as I'm certain you've heard, I was recently deprived of my ship, which means I need a new one.
It's painfully clear you've got feelings for the Guthrie woman. If you could bring all your men to bear to protect her, that might be reason enough to let this whole matter go. Do you know what I think now? I think your men couldn't care less about Eleanor Guthrie. Do your men even know you're here?
Did they... Wait, I said it as a joke.
Oh yeah, they are coming. Oh no, all of them. Oh yeah. Hey, they came like Barbosa's crew.
I really said it as a joke.
From under the sea.
I recommend you get up and get off my ship. Don't you want to hear the rest of my terms first? I get your ship.
They will get the ship.
I'll go.
He wanted a ship, you get it.
Oh my god, that's a crew from hell.
Get it all.
Massacre.
And what would I get in exchange for all that?
Quick death.
A little bit of mercy.
Mr. Holmes!
There's no Mr. Holmes anymore.
He's such an intense guy.
Mr. Holmes doesn't work here anymore.
He's not afraid of anything now. Oh, let's go, let's go. Come on.
Be careful, Charles. Ooh.
He is unhinged, but I mean, he fucking came out of the grave, right? He can do this. Dude. He'll get him.
Come on, Charles, get him.
Slowly. Oh. Yep.
And he's done.
Okay, that was great. There's a part of me that's a bit like sad that such a crazy character is gone so quick.
But I mean, Charles is even crazier than that guy when he wants to.
Oh, there you go. Ooh. Ugh.
Taylor, no. It's done.
But he'll say it wasn't for her.
When I saw Flint, something was different about him. You know what happened out there, don't you? What happened to Mr. Gates? This is just too...
Eleanor, where are you?
You're doubting everything?
You have put your credibility behind him, and now you would resist him? You need to ask yourself what you want.
Yeah.
Where your loyalties are, and whom do you trust?
Who are you, and what do you want? Did they put a display of what they did?
I think they did.
Well, she asked, right? Honestly, though, I don't think anyone is mad that he's gone.
I anger Charles Vane. Yeah, you don't want to go against him. What are you gonna do, Eleanor?
You say that.
Make up your mind, girl.
He says he did not do it for her, but he still did it for her, and it's intense, it's big, it's power, she likes it, yeah. That's why she doesn't want to go against him. And that also does not go on YouTube.
Are we to believe that our loyalties lie with Vane and not with Flint?
We'll talk about this. You're choosing his side, though, knowing that there are two very angry captains who are currently trying to get him. So
We're gonna sail again.
you need to find the crew, find the ship. Like, it's not done yet.
What the fuck are you waiting for?
I mean, that turned her on a little bit.
A man with ambition.
Everyone's fucking in this episode.
Oh.
Not there. She's not asking their opinion.
Ooh.
Okay. Again, this could do really well or really bad eventually.
Oh. He has hearts in his eyes.
There's something I need to show you.
The prize? Do we get to finally know? She's still sleeping.
Her father's Lord Peter Ash, governor of the Carolina colony. Low recorded in his log the ransom amount he intended to demand. 250,000 pounds.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
I know how you must feel. How desperate you must be to go home. That place no longer exists. It has been taken from us by a madman. Now, I would like to say that the Urka beckons us, that the affairs of the beach should never take precedence
Yeah,
over
right.
those of the purse. But in this case, these issues would seem to be one and the same.
He's so good.
Even if we could refit amidst the chaos that has been sown and go on to win the Urka's gold, what then? We return home only to have Vane extort from us the very prize that we have sacrificed so much to win? At sunrise tomorrow, we make our terms clear. For bargain or compromise,
Much of dawn.
Vane and the animals he commands have until sunrise tomorrow to vacate that fort, or so help me God! I will rain holy hell down upon him.
I will say something. That man knows how to make a speech.
I love him. He's fucking gray, but gosh, he's entertaining. I like him so much. He's a powerful guy.
Zach McGowan is Captain Charles Vane. I'm gonna look him up.
He's the guy that Rick beats up in Walking Dead at the end.
Really?
Yeah, he made. I mean, you haven't seen that season, but
No.
he beats him up in one season. At least I know he's there, and I think he beats him up, but he's there.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that Eleanor decided to go back to Charles to make sure that's gonna be on her side, or she went back to him because she has feelings for him?
Okay, Eleanor first, because we'll do that. We'll talk about every character one after the other. So Eleanor and Charles. Eleanor specifically.
Yeah.
I feel like she has these dreams of being strong enough to do her own thing, but she's a young girl. Like, they called her a teenager at one point, like, which she's not a teenager, but I mean, I don't know her age. So she's young, she's inexperienced, and she has just been stripped of her father's name and security. So now she's truly on her own, and she is not, basically, she's used to dealing with reputation, and now she's lost that, and she's figuring out that without that fear, that name, what we talked about last episode, there's not much that she can do.
Yeah.
And people stood up to her, like Ned Lowe was actively just killing people in her establishment. He was making threats. He was saying he was not going away. She was proved, and not just that, but like other people were saying openly that they did not necessarily want to back her, that her name had no worth, no weight with other people.
Weak.
Yeah. So they keep questioning how strong she is, and I feel like she's been feeling the pressure more and more. Yet she has no experience, so she doesn't really know how to retaliate. Like, do you need strong allies? And she's not gonna go out there and fight. It was easy when Anne came to her and said, "I need you to help me with." Wait, let me. When Anne came to her and said, "I need your help. Like, I need to get rid of someone," it was easy for her to use that and send a strong message because someone was willing to go and do the dirty work for her. But when you're alone and no one fights for you, you have to fight for yourself. You may have the plans, but you don't have the power to get to where you want to be. So she needs strong allies. And here's Charles. She knows Charles cares about her. She knows he has feelings. So at the very least, she knows she can trust that, manipulate that. Do I think she has no feelings for Charles? No. I think she is fucking turned on by how strong he is, by how secure he makes her feel,
by how far it's gonna go just for her, basically.
Exactly, and she can use that, and that makes her feel strong. I think she is turned on by the idea of how strong she is, and she knows he's in charge of the fort. He's got these strong men following him. He is a fucking badass, and Ned was a problem, and he was making her afraid, and he got rid of it. So, but we also know that back when they were together, they left because of the power, difference between the two. So I'm afraid that now she's going to him because she's turned on, she likes him, she loves him, all of that. But as soon as she feels strong enough, and maybe that's not going to happen because she has lost that security once, so maybe she sees it differently. But I feel like if you give her a chance to feel strong on her own again,
she's
she
gonna
might
just
leave
push
him.
him aside again.
Yeah.
Which is, well, if she does it again, that would
be shitty.
That would be shitty.
But Charles,
because just look at him. He looks at her with big hearts in his eyes.
He wants, and the thing is, he is not wrong when he says she needs to be strong on her own. He's a bit done, losing. Kind of like with Jack, we were saying, like he's tired of seeing other people get what they want, and he's the one that loses. I think it's the same with Charles. Like, he was afraid for a while and he let stuff happen to him, but now he's gone and destroyed what he was afraid of. He came back from the grave. He's a new man. He doesn't want to let that go, but he's still in love with Eleanor, and that is still, even though he says it's not, it's still what drives him and what pushes him to make decisions.
Yeah.
And Ned Lowe, for all his craziness, was fucking good at reading the vibe and seeing what was going on, and I think he was completely right with what happened with Charles. He wanted to help Eleanor. He said he needed Eleanor to be strong on her own, and he gave her all the speeches, and he was right about her needing to be strong without his help, because that's never going to work if she's not strong by herself. But still, I think he was saying that because he didn't see a way to help her without his men turning on him, and as soon as she gave him a way to do this, he jumped at the chance. So he was quick to learn about what the prize was. He tried to manipulate Ned a little bit. He was quick to jump on the opportunity, and this whole massacre was fucking great. I was joking when I said let's go. Like, I don't know what he says.
We'll go by walk.
I don't know what I don't know what he says in English, but in French, it's Barbossa, right? In Pirates of the Caribbean, when he's being told, like, oh, they'll see you, and like they expect them to be seen with the ship coming to the cave, and then he says like, oh, let's go by foot, like on y va à pied. So I was making a joke, but that's exactly what they did. Like the way they did it, silent killer, yeah. And they do have a strong aura, they have a strong presence, and to make it a message, they all witnessed Ned Lowe losing his fucking mind in that establishment and killing one of his men. They knew he was a beast, and for Charles to be the one that kills him and be like, yep, he angered me.
That's gonna happen if you try to go against me.
But that's what's important in this world. Name, reputation. They need to fear you if you want them to listen to you.
You also need to be able to back up your words. If you say that, if you try to go against me, I'm gonna make you pay. You need to be able to take what's yours at the end of it.
You need to
It's like Flint when he was talking to Eleanor at the beginning. She's not ready to make sacrifices when it's time for her to.
And she makes
make those
moves.
choices.
She makes big moves, but she's not willing to keep up with those big moves, or at least she claims that she has big ideas and big dreams, and she starts stuff, but she's not willing to finish them.
I mean, when she was okay dealing with Charles through with Anne, because she had nothing to lose. She needs to send a few people to just silently kill a bunch of men.
Someone came to her and told her she was going to do something. Like she had an idea, but basically she's good at coming up with ideas, but she's not good at having them happen. So making them happen, because she has no one to truly go out there to do her dirty work. She does not have that strength, that reputation. So when she uses her status and her money and her reputation on the island when it comes to business, she could still do some stuff, but she lost that, and now her little enterprise is very new, and it's not working that well, and people are using Charles' name to spread the fear. So he's the one truly in power, and she's so alone and afraid. She's kind of going towards the one that can protect her the most, and the one that she can still manipulate the best, even if that's maybe not what she's thinking about. Like, oh, I'm gonna manipulate him. It's still like, instinctively she goes to the one that openly says he cares about her and literally did something for her right there. Flint, he's a bit of a loose cannon. She went to Mrs. Barlow and she told her, like, you don't know Flint, you don't know his demons, I know everything. Like, she thought she knew Flint, she doesn't. How can you manipulate that? How can you know for certain that he's going to be on your side? Even Charles was saying stuff about Flint, like, oh, like, you might not want to support him, like, you don't know him. He was giving her ways to go around his plan. So she's not in the same boat as Flint as much as she says she is. Like, when Flint has an idea and he comes up with plans and stuff, that's great. But if
he's
it
ready
starts,
to go all in if he needs to. She's not ready to do that.
And no, because, I mean, at the end of the day, there's that, her not being able to, follow up with what she says, but also she's not sure if she can trust Flint. She's not sure if she can trust these other guys. Like, they've been openly saying, at least like Hornigold is a good example, openly saying that they disagree with how she does things, and they've been forcing her to go certain ways when she's not happy about it. Charles has been pushing her towards greatness. He's been saying that she needs to be strong, and he's been doing what she wants despite him saying he doesn't want to do it because of her. So yeah, she's gonna go with Charles, but what that means is now she's picked Charles, she chose his side. Well, these guys are here to take him down.
Hopefully, she's gonna stick with Charles this time, because if she left him once again, Makokoro's gonna break for him. Seriously.
Well, the thing is, if she doesn't trust these guys, the same can be said about these guys not trusting her. They kind of need her to keep the business going, but I fear that if she starts becoming more of a problem than she's worth, they're going to get rid of her and try another way to make this work. I don't know, like, the plan is to create a safe haven with its own system that's going, and she's good at that, but now even her name doesn't have much strength, so we'll see where it goes. But she's picked a side, and now they're actively coming to take him down, so that's going to be interesting next episode.
All right.
But, yeah, Flint is such a good speaker. Like, he's good, like you said, with speeches. For sure he wants to go back to the Orca, but he's making it sound like he cares, like, really, like, what the men have been thinking about, like, how we want our home and all that. Yes, for sure he needs a place to go back to later, But the way he phrases it, like it sounds like he has his crew's best interest at heart, when in fact he
doesn't.
You know, like he's good at convincing people that no, yeah, what I want is what you want, but
that's why he's captain.
Yeah, that's exactly
You know?
why he's captain. And he listens, like, despite, the fact that he's driven by his own need and he knows where he wants to go and he's going to push them towards where he wants to go for his own reasons. He's good at listening to people. He seems like he's not listening, but he's listening to everything and he doesn't forget anything. He's trying to keep the ship, going. He's trying to keep his men happy. And if they're not going to be happy, he knows how to
manipulate that anger towards his goal at the end of it.
Towards someone else. Like, let's use that opportunity to make them angry at Charles so we can take him down.
Don't be angry at me. You should be angry against the one who took it all, it all from you. Charles?
Mm. But this episode with Flint, the thing that we found out was that there was actually something going on with Mrs. Barlow. And I mean, I don't want to push away the theory we had about gay pirates.
First
because
of all,
I think it's
that
interesting.
theory we come up with because, like you said, first of all, we didn't see any time between him and Miranda that they have together.
Yeah, now we did, though.
Now we did. So yeah, something did happen with them.
But still, we just saw a three-way thing with Jack and Anne and Max, so I'm like,
so you thought that they had a three relationship way?
I don't know. I want to keep that theory up because I think it's a funny, like, an interesting idea. And I think he's truly... It's not too crazy to imagine he would have a strong connection with both. Like, they did say he was... that he was... what's his name? Fuck.
Thomas?
Thomas, thank you. I was trying to say Charles or William. That's weird.
No.
Thomas's best friend. They had such a connection, and now they're letting loose a little bit. Like, he's not wearing a wig around him. Like, decorum, like, it's out the window, and they're talking more and more about their plan to change Nassau and how it's been going, which, by the way, all of what he said is fucking true. When you're on an island, away from the mainland, away from people in charge,
from rules and laws,
eventually you do feel like you're in control and you can do whatever the hell you want. And it's easy to be like, they're terrorizing me and they're the real meanie, because, I mean, they do want that reputation anyway. Whether or not they realize that it's bad for them to have this reputation, it's how they're, them hunting treasures, that's how everything becomes more easy,
Mm-hmm.
You show up, they are afraid, they give you what they have, and that's it. Like, it's less bloody and less troublesome, but you use that to get sympathy. You lie about what's truly going on, when in fact, like, you're the one allowing this to happen, and you basically make money on the side, and you have a whole thing going on. So the fact that Thomas is aware of what's truly happening in Nassau shows that he was really aware, he was really intelligent, he was really willing to make a big change, and I think he could have done the right thing. So I don't know how it's gonna evolve. It's sad that, they say he's dead. It's sad that he's dead. I don't know if he killed himself, though. There's still a lot of shit about their past that we don't know about, and I don't think they told the truth about what happened. And they said, rumors are rumors. They were rumors about...
She did say that there were rumors about infidelity before Flint came.
But that her and Thomas never really cared about that. And she was going...
You know what I thought when she told that to Flint? In French, it's like couple d'échanges.
That they are open couple. But maybe...
Open couple, like they don't care about reputation per se, and they just do behind closed doors what they want to do.
I mean, we say gay pirates, but the idea that Thomas might not have been straight is there too. Like, what if they're married for conveniences and they don't care about rumors because they have an open marriage? Like, okay, we're married for appearances, but I'm not interested. So they don't have children.
So it's like, my husband gets what he wants on the side, and I get what I want on the other side. Basically, like House of Dragons with Rhaenyra and her first husband.
Because I'm thinking she had no fucking hesitation jumping on Flint in that carriage when she found out, like, okay, you care about what people say. For Flint, it would have been about reputation, because coming from where he comes from, people would be questioning him all the time. Word would spread, like, people would be doubting him. People's opinion is important, and if you want to advance, you need to prove yourself, you need to fight against that, you need to take all your chances and just basically go through people's what's the word? Fuck.
In French, what is it?
Prejudices.
Okay.
So you need to suffer people's prejudices, and eventually when you find yourself in a good spot, still people will talk, but you need to keep that reputation as much as possible. So he'd be worried about what people say. But he was also apparently, like, I mean, obviously he was interested in her and she was interested in him, but the way that she just went straight to him and she doesn't care about people talking and stuff. She's in a marriage that she knows, it feels like she's clearly aware that her marriage is not going to be threatened by the rumors. So to me, that sounds like he knows what they're going to say, but he's fine with it, and that's not going to change their status. So potentially,
so open marriage then.
I feel like maybe he's totally fine, like for whatever reason, gay thing, gay pirates, gay lords, potentially. But whatever the reason, whatever the reason, it sounds like he's okay with her just going around and doing whatever. And if they were rumors, that sounds that like. It's not the first time, so, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. So how come, like, if this is not a bad thing, though...
It isn't if both parties consent to it, but in those times, if people
other people,
knows,
yeah. But with Thomas, I do feel like she was genuine when she said that they don't care about the rumors. So that's why I feel like he might be okay with it, which means like we're back to saying that what they said about him finding out about the affair and being mad about it and killing himself and all that, that's not true. But now we know that, yes, they had a relationship. So those rumors came from there, not just people just thinking that something was going on because he spent time with them. So we'll see where it goes. But he did say sorry, so she does know about his demons. She knows about his past. She knows him better than everyone else on this show. So that's why whenever they are together, that's when we get the most information about them, like about what happened.
About what happened back then.
So, yeah. The rest we can just speculate, but...
But I'm leaning towards the open marriage
I like
situations.
that, yeah.
And I'm leaning more and more toward the fact that maybe Thomas might have been gay.
Well, if they have an open marriage, either he was really not interested in her, or it's that. Yeah.
I mean,
which would also mean he's not interested in her. But
she said that she loves her husband, and he seemed to really loves his wife.
They could have been best friends. Love can be platonic. Just like, you know, that's where we started our theory with gay pirates too. Like Flint and Thomas were best friends. They obviously cared about each other. Whether their love was romantic or not, that bond between the three of them is there. And then our fantasies just take over the conversation.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm leaning toward open marriage.
Yeah, now that we know that there was an actual connection with her, I'm thinking this could have been, at least between her and Thomas, this could have been what was going on.
To me, Thomas is dead. From what I understood, he committed suicide.
That's what they said, yep.
Yeah. So that union, a fucking big ass scandal, something that will ruin his life.
Yeah, but since there are already rumors about her infidelity and he's still not dead yet, like, I'm like, at first we thought the rumors started with her and Flint, so we were like, oh, okay, if something was going on there, we don't know. But the rumors were there before, so people assumed that she was cheating before Flint. So what's another guy?
Yeah, but the rumors are regarding her, not him. You know?
But then that means he would have killed himself because Flint slept with his wife. So other guys can sleep with my wife.
My first theory was that he committed suicide because the fact that he might have been gay.
But who's to say he committed suicide? We don't know.
They didn't say that he committed suicide.
They said he did. That doesn't mean it's true.
Maybe.
Flint and Miranda just said that London took a lot from them. Like, they never said he killed himself. It's Eleanor's dad who said that's what they say happened, but anything can happen. He was sent in an institution or something, and then he killed himself there, but anything can happen behind closed doors.
True.
And I don't trust rumors. Well, now obviously they were true. They did sleep together, but since the rumors were there already, and people were talking about her being, cheating, I'm like, well, if she was cheating before and that did not bother Thomas, and she obviously said that it doesn't bother them, and I kind of believe that, I feel like one more would not have changed things, so something else happened.
You think that maybe someone might have killed Thomas then?
I don't know.
Maybe that couple who Flynn had to kill back then.
They were, I mean, that there's them as well. They were somehow involved with what happened.
What did they do?
In any case, and as for Jack and Max and Anne, I'm happy that now they get to find their crew and everything. I feel like I said in the episode that Max saw that Anne was not happy, and I think that Anne wants a lot of things. She wants both Jack and Max, and when Jack is not happy, she's not happy. And so even though she had Max, she could not feel content. So Max had to do something to help them all.
You know what? I think regarding Max, she brings a feeling of freedom and power over one's body for Anne. But regarding Jack brings security, fondness, and feelings.
And, I mean, they've been together for a while too. I like what Charles said about them either being the death of each other or ending up ruling everyone. I really like that.
I want that. I want that ending.
But I mean, I feel like Max still had really strong feelings with Eleanor, and she felt that she was on the brink of, again, losing herself in those feelings. So she turned to Anne, and since Anne needed her, she gave back. And now she has an escape through her. Whether or not there are feelings there, I don't know. But she was surprised when Jack showed up in the room, and she still decided to go with it. And I think that seeing the scars and stuff, it's just proof that Anne was broken. She's precious. She's, you know, she's fragile despite her strength. And they both need her. So if she wants them both, they're going to give it. I am worried about whether or not it's going to work in the long run, though, because
jealousies, maybe.
Jealousy could be a thing. Everyone needs to be okay with the idea of being with everyone, and I don't know about that. Like, until recently, Jack was saying that Max was trying to, you know, drive a wedge between the two, which after what she did with Charles, like having him lift the black mark, obviously not. But she's still in a position with Anne where she has influence, and who knows, like, she is trying to be strong. She's trying to grow her influence a lot. And with that, she could do everything. So now the dynamic has changed. Now he's back on the market, per se. Like he's back with the good graces of people. So he's got influence as well, and all he has to do is grow that back, and now he's happy, so that makes Anne happy. But I feel like Anne wants it all, and she'll have to choose at one point. That's what I'm afraid of.
Unless both Jack and Max are going to be okay with it, but I don't think that's going to happen.
That's the thing. I feel because like now it works, but
I think that Jack made a good point with the fact that Max wants to sort of influence Anne's decisions, and we just keep her all for herself, you know. And yes, she's helping Jack by doing deals with Charles and stuff, but
he's talking about how, you know, Max was taking over control of her mind, and I feel like this is the jealousy. Like, I feel like Jack wants to keep his partner, and he's like, okay, if I cannot satisfy you physically, go get that somewhere else. But I think he saw Max as being a whore, and that's it. Like, you go to her the way men go to the whores, right? You go get what you want, but then you come back to me. So in his mind, the partnership was still there. The company he would keep with her, that's still there, and he expects her to be with him. But since she's not waking up with him, the emotion side, the partnership side, it's not there anymore. So he was starting to feel afraid that Max was taking a bigger role in Anne's life. So that's why he said what he said. But that's the thing. Now, Anne, who I'm pretty sure she just doesn't want to lose both of them, because she gets a release and she gets freedom and she gets what she craves with Max. And which, to be fair, I mean, can she find that with Jack eventually? Maybe, when he's not obsessed with his situation. She started going with Max when he started having so many issues. He was not focusing on her. He was constantly, whenever they would be together, he'd be constantly thinking about, oh, what the fuck is going on? Like, he needed to help everyone. He needed to make sure that Charles' issues were taken care of. He was never really there for her and taking care of her. So maybe that's why she went to Max, because Max was taking care of her, and she kind of saw a companionship with her. So she wants that.
Even before that, she had some sort of, not obsession, but she has
but those...
she was leaning toward Max.
Yeah, but
what was going on.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Ever since the beginning, Jack has always been focused on the issues going on. So much has been happening from the episode 1.
Yeah,
it's like he was never really focused on her, and maybe that's what she found in Max. And I mean, maybe she needed to explore too. Like maybe that was a side of her that she just wasn't aware of, and it just started showing itself like, hey, you're actually into girls too, you know. So she needed to see where that would lead. But so she needs Max, but she also cares about Jack. Like she still wants to defend him. She wants to be there for him, and when he's happy, she's happy. So she doesn't want to lose him either. But if one starts being jealous of how much time she spends with the other, or you know, if she starts to find something more with Jack and not with Max, and she lets go of Max, maybe one or the other is gonna be like, you know what? I'm not satisfied anymore, and I don't want to be a part of this, and that could be an issue in the future. But it's interesting.
All right.
That's very interesting.
All right.
I want them to rule the world rather than destroy each other. They are part of my favorite, you know, characters in this show so far. So, we'll see. In any case, really good episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already, or it will be very soon. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if not, gonna see you soon on YouTube, guys.
Yes.
See you there.
Bye.